Going live. "10 minutes in and I get to go live." Yep. Are we live? Am I live? It should be, finally. Okay, come on. Yeah. Oh, I have yet to change the state and everything to... Got page 1 here of this little space story. Okay, yeah, we are live. If there's more people than just me in here. Announce control. Speaking as a Scorpio, and yeah, it's gonna be best. But my point remains that we have a... There's a webcam. There's... Someone beneath me and behind me is the speaker stereo headphones. Life of mine, I'm holding up the data in the Xerox line. Just adjust the light a little. Boom. Okay, so Spring Fling got delayed till August. It's gonna be now Summer Bash. The Grand Rapids Comic Con. I'm guessing the registrations were still not showing. We're not promising. Because most of the lockdown shit should be over by then. But then again, now they're talking about they want to do like almost eternal lockdowns. They want to kill off. They want to kill off gathering. Because they don't want, because some people are extroverts and vibe off the energy of others. Even introverts can. Even an introvert like myself tends to like recharge off of being in public, but I just, being an introvert, I just recharge that battery more quickly. I can get away with like not having big interactions or large form interactions for months, and then just go to a convention, vibe off that for a weekend, and just like, oh, I'm good. I'm good with not even interacting with people face to face for a while now. But that was plenty. Meanwhile, you got a lot of people that got to be over at the sports bar every other night or something. In some communal activity of some sort. Five people. If there's 5 people watching, hey man, feel free to say hi, or we're just going to be listening more Irish and music and Stan Rogers. Oh, intro is this is the Irish Rovers, definitely we're listening to right now. Purple, my Liverpool. Why don't you behave, love, like the other girls do? Heart be following you. Think love me, my Liverpool. It is pleasing, my friend. But she gotta tease you. You know that. Like the other girls do. Heart be following you. Say me, my Liverpool. Well, this Friday I was thinking of doing some more streaming, but then I realized, I'm like, hey, I'm thinking I'm going to lay this flat. I'm going to do some painting on some miniatures or something. And then I'm like, oh, no, that's something I can't do because, I am actually, that's going to be actually be at a convention this weekend. Dumbass, I'm thinking like, thinking, what would I like to do? I'm like, oh wait, I'm already doing something I would like to do. There's like a little mini vendor. So now conventions, I think, and this is what I was predicting was something that had to happen was just start renting out spaces, storefronts, and doing conventions just, and it's going to be a small start, but if you can keep the table fees reasonable and attractive, and people are willing to bust their ass telling people, the brave ones at least, to come on out and attend conventions. You can rebuild conventions from the ground up and focus it once again on the vending aspect of original creators and original artists instead of because it'd become a bunch of crap anyways. That wasn't worth attending conventions in general. Ashton Rogers, oh man, I'm okay. You can kind of get away with a lot of stuff where I'm missing flag emoji. Such when I would start pulling these things anyways, and just doing a thing where I'm gonna condense these. I need to start making more videos where I just condense a stream into a couple of minutes, music overlay, and just chatter a bit over it. But then I gotta think of things to like immediate and prescient topics to talk about. I mean, we do have another cancellation in the works here in tabletop gaming of Ant YouTube channel. They did cancel. They made the mistake of canceling themselves and try to offer explanations to the SJWs, which is you're never supposed to explain yourself. You're never supposed to apologize to SJWs. You're never leftists and liberal. If you're not your tribe in general, political tribe, then you never apologize to them. Because there will never be a reciprocity, there will never be a reach across the aisle. You're just admitting defeat and giving them the bloody skull and offering them your neck. You don't do that. What was with that Ant Labs games, and they canceled the end of their YouTube channel after receiving flack. But then they started try to restart as a new channel, new content. But it's like it's too late. Then you should never have given up 20,000 followers. And you should never let them run. And also you should never resign a position. Never, when you're under attack, resign a position. Make them throw you out, and then point out that you've been thrown out of better places than this. Like I was pointing out on somebody else's stream, on John Del Rosa's stream. If we are all cast out of Eden, then I've been kicked out of better places than this shithole. Eternally. you get a couple pages of our heroine just as you're setting up a story. Oh, these guys. I picked up this album. I can't remember now who this is. Bill Grogan's Goat. This is the album. And I picked these guys up a few years back at the Saline Celtic Festival. I was working table there. Because like, hey, free entry. I get to frickin'... I don't think Doge is going to really compete with Bitcoin, mainly because I don't think there's a cap on Dogecoin, though. That's the problem. Like, what really caused Bitcoin to skyrocket was the fact that there was only X amount of spots, the full Bitcoins, on the blockchain. So if you don't have a... And the thing is with a Doge, if you do not have a cap, a select number, then you're once again susceptible to inflation, which is the core problem of fiat currency. And the bizarre thing is, okay, yeah, but the main problem with all of these, I mean, now that Tesla is accepting Bitcoin, yeah, the price and value is going to stabilize and it's going to stay high and it's going to stabilize. Because there's an actual retailer accepting them for physical goods, a standardized physical good, and so it's clear that somebody else wants these damn things, right? And yeah, you can do the dark web, and there's individual small retailers, but until like major retailers are willing to accept these things, guess what? They're only worth something in theory. Value is, what can I get for this? What can I get for this? You know, not what is people saying it. And this is like, Bitcoins might as well be comic books. Oh, the price guide says it's worth this amount. Well, it's still worth nothing. A comic book is worth nothing in your hands. A Bitcoin is worth nothing on your computer. Until somebody gives you something for it, it exchanges that back towards you for something that you need. Well, it's worth more 5 pounds of gold or 5 pounds of potatoes when you're starving on an island and there's nothing to eat. Except for 5 pounds of potatoes. And money and investments aren't worth anything, are only worth something in theory until you cash that in. Until you sell the stock, it's just potential. It doesn't become kinetic value. Now, mind you, what are you exchanging it for? Well, if you're exchanging it for more fiat currency, then is that money worth something? And that's the annoying part, is like the whole thing, they're re-regulating, they're reintroducing, they're changing up the markets for these in favor of these hedge fund managers, so they can keep trading businesses and lives for imaginary money. For fiat currency, imaginary money that is not guaranteed to be worth anything. And this was after the money printers going brrr, and we printed up a whole bunch of new money, or just said it existed, which will then be susceptible to inflation. So yeah, your stock can be, a GME stock can be worth X amount of money, but what will X amount of money buy in the near future? And will that money be worth it? I think you had a bunch of people buying as the news broke, as the freaking price started soaring, and it's like, what the hell are you idiots doing? You don't get in when it's high. Well, as some people are saying, yeah, it's just money to waste. It's ticket to the show to see how high it can go and how high you can pump it to make this one group of people, this one hedge fund hurt. It was not about, but then there were some people thinking like, oh, I'm going to get rich off of this. And it was a beanie baby level disaster, economic disaster. But then again, you're still used to seeing that in the nerd circles, aren't we? It's almost a thing that they specialize in. Oh, what the? Okay, hi, a la carte king. What blue pencil do I use for these? Oh God, what the hell is this? Why was this not showing for the longest time? What brand of blue pencil do I use for these? I use a Pentel Click pencil with blue photocopy LEDs inside it. Is the maybe chat lag? Yeah, there was a ton of chat lag. I'm sorry. Lame those nuts who cram into a bar and share the karaoke mic and end up spreading COVID. Well, that's the thing. With COVID, we still don't have. God, it's still the numbers aren't justifying the lockdown, and we're getting more and more clips of audio where it may be all BS. Anyways, I mean, there's a reason why the politicians, as soon as the cameras are supposed to be off, they take off the masks and they're just standing around normally. I was covering about 3 cons a year as a journalist and attended 2 for my own fun before a Backstreet Boy reunion tour started last year. Haven't gone to a con since 06, 07. I can understand anytime somebody wants to just bail from convention scene. Why the heck did this chat lag not? That was so weird. It right from the get-go. Yeah, but it's a Click pencil I use for my penciling. And for me, it's like I don't really have an online store presence, so for me, it was also a big part of my sales. My actual making money off my webcomics and stuff was me going to conventions and turning the popularity from the webcomics into either sales of physical books, physical t-shirts and stuff, or commissions. And now I'm shifting away from all that. I've got the bookmarks. But it's more of I'm doing smaller vendor events. I had a nice time at Wicked Bazaar last year, and I'm just outside underneath a tent in a church parking lot, make $100 or so off a small initial investment. But then the important point is like I slept in my own bed. It was one day event, and it was like 15-minute drive from my house. And I think we're gonna. And now that I'm not like working on Peter's the Wolf anymore, I can open up more opportunities in that realm. Now that it's the coloring book. Now that I'm not drawing porn anymore. Now that it's not porn that I'm trying to hook, I can actually just I can just go in, and it's a lot easier for me to just have things on display. And there's a lot more venues opened up to me. I mean, if I want to do a night's haul or something, depending on price. We left them in the alehouse, we drunk them clean away. From the Isle of Wight. I do not know why the chat did that on my tablet. So I'm like, it's kind of funny because I'm looking at a tablet that is running my stream. While I'm watching, while I'm drawing, because my computer is now on the other side of the room for me on my new my fancy home studio. As you can see, there's this cool glass table underneath me. And between here and the Bar One Studios account, YouTube account, I'm trying more and more just to stream and get people interested in, just looking at me drawing. I always appreciate an eyeball over my shoulder to help me get some of the work done when I sit home. I've got so many things that can distract me. But hey, the game system is another room. The computer with all the social media is behind me. And we have a new webcomic in the works. Okay, so it doesn't say. Like here we have a script that I'm working on and working from. For this new epic length tale that I'm working on. Because I think I've got a graphic novel in me. Color problem of the orange and the green. This is like a webcomic idea that I've had brewing for a little bit, and I was like, okay. Wishing me heart it was Sunday. Buttermilk by the week. Whiskey on a Sunday. Me heart it was Sunday. Whiskey on a Sunday. Me heart it was Sunday. Oh, this is a good one. Dude, the meme has been at the start of the year sea shanties, and Stan Rogers really gives you what you want. The captain of the Nightingale. 21 days. Was out Bermuda in the gale, and he died on the North Rock Shoal. Is anybody posted in here? I gotta frickin' do a thing with the chat every time or something. Because wait, is it because oh I hadn't done the okay, and I hadn't even had that thing where it was on Wi-Fi. Oh my gosh. I know I got unlimited data, but now I'm just feeling stupid. I'm feeling triple stoop. And I'm doing this kind of oddly like this. You might have noticed there's a lot of black in line work, line shading, and that's because one thing that I learned from Piers the Wolf is if I'm doing all the damn work, let me save time on fooling around digitally. Let me save a little bit of time on fooling around digitally by doing the majority shading, the line share. If I'm doing a black and white piece to begin with, I don't have to, if I'm not going to be printing this in full color, and then also let me I don't want to have to waste more time than I have to on the computer when I'm wrapping things up. I mean, I did at least manage to get up to the Renaissance Festival during their Halloween light stroll. You know, all these lighted forest walk things, all these nighttime lighted forest walk things, they suddenly all popped up briefly after a bunch of states legalized or decriminalized marijuana. Who'd have thunk that would have happened? So surprising, so shocking. Just came out of nowhere. No way to foresee this, but it's almost like a bunch of... Hey, John Dacre. Highly suspicious. What is highly suspicious? But I'm using a second YouTube channel. What the heck? There we go. And you barely do have, I mean, this panel is almost partly drawn at this spot. Weed legalization for his thing to walk is suspicious. Oh, yeah. Wait, yeah, you're right. Maybe there's just like a slasher killer looking to troll for new victims. Actually, that could be a frickin' damn. I'm surprised that hasn't been a thing yet. Oh, we have this forest walk thing where you can get high and your dopamine is up and you've lowered your defenses, and there certainly isn't a masked serial killer secretly looking for victims. There's a quick story. There's a quick movie, and the movie would look cool as hell because you'd be filming it in one of these light-up things. So you'd get all these cool still images and all these cool shots of the magic light LED light displays and shit in the middle of the night. Huh. I am very much in favor of this now. That is a nice cheapy movie. So glad Texas not legalized the sinner spinach. The sinner spinach. Yeah, I'm just getting tired of people I can smell from 30 feet away in their car. I'm getting tired of, like, even if you don't believe the worst about weed, okay? You're still dealing with... Have you ever liked to deal with people who are drunk in public? Then why do stoners think that they're somehow magically effing exempt from this situation? That nobody wants to babysit your stoned ass. When it's clear that not all the synapses are firing anymore. When it's clear that... Let the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. It's rarely young people who do their homework and go to bed before 10 p.m. who get killed. Yeah. Many of the best horror movies often have that victims doing morally questionable things. There's just an element of moral correction with horror. Yeah. Well, because horror is supposed to be one of these ones where everyone is vulnerable and anyone can die. So people are in... And because horror often deals with the supernatural, there's often also that moral peril, more as well as mortal peril, because, you know, it's not just this isn't just, anybody can get killed in a car accident or have a crippling battle with cancer or something, but this thing also eats your soul, figuratively and literally. Your soul, the soul of a character is also in peril. And by the way, did she mention my name? Did she mention my name? Fire, do they still win all the games? The way, did she mention my name? And it's kind of funny because in a horror movie where the goody two shoes does get killed, that's often like it's a wow, crazy subversion just to show that, hey, the stakes are for real in this movie, unlike other movies. You know, that it could be anyone now from here on out. By the way, did she mention my name? Where is that thing I stepped away for? I'll put up another thing here too. Sing Padro. The Hollow Waifu cards. I'm up to card number 10 now. Look at that. That's a list. This right here. This is a plan. This is much more of a plan than you think. And this is going to be the next girl. It's going to be a ghost girl coming out of a mirror. Yeah, so boom. We've got like she's joining a robot. Metropolis style robot. A werewolf. A vampire girl, Carmilla. A mummy. A fish girl. The invisible girl. Phantom of the Opera. The Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde, and Bride of Frankenstein. That is what it's going to be. That's where we are on this project. That project is also coming along swimmingly. So, by the time I'm kicking off this, I'll be also compiling those cards, and I'll be finishing the color work on those cards. We'll have a cute little "Someday We'll Be Caught." This is actually one of my favorite songs. The station, I was rushing full of care, when I stepped in her cat and I stumbled, fell headlong down the stairs. Mrs. Crandall came up to me. "Did you miss a step, me son?" I says, "Me dear landlady, I hit every bloomin' one." Dear Mrs. Crandall, a lot in her house, white as a mouse. They will be caught. Hollow Waifu, yes, the Hollow Waifu playing cards. And for those guys who don't know this, in addition to the coloring book that I put out last year, I am now working on a deck of playing cards. A standard 54 card deck with 27 images. And those images will be kind of assembled into 27 images assembled into pairs So you can play match games with it. I was literally thinking of like an old maid card deck, but the character cards are all saucy monster girls and Halloween girls. I just found out the Spring Fling in Grand Rapids got delayed to August. Not gonna be a summer bash, but you know. But I still got my table there, so I just wish people were a little bit ballsier in my state and were willing to stand up to Granholm, especially when the numbers don't agree with the lockdowns. Yo, hey, look how far we are into this. We've almost got page 2 done. We will be as our heroine is talked about. It's gonna be like she's a little unsure on why she had to shoot this thing to get used to killing things. There could be all sorts of beasties when you on ground side far nastier than this. Oh dearie. So she has to get used to dealing with such things. This pen is already not working and busted. You know what? That sucks. I could not for the life of me find a normal goddamn whiteout pen in any store. I'm gonna have to just get. I mean, this is supposed to be like what acrylic white paint, and I'm guessing that's what I gotta do now. I'm just gonna have to get a little pot of paint and brush on instead of playing around with liquid paper or hunting in store after store after store. You used to have these nice little Bic paper correction pens. And a couple of weeks ago, I hit up like 4 friggin' stores, and I couldn't find. I was looking at office supply stores, grocery stores that I used to be able to find the damn things at. They're not on the shelves. The quest for good art supplies. By this panel, she's kind of feeling a little guilty about having snapshot this thing. It's going to be interesting to see it all together. Yeah. 12 months ago and 2 weeks to stop the spread. Yeah. She's going to be, I've done the, but I killed this thing, and the robot is going to be, her little chaperone robot is going to be explaining. The thing was only alive for like 5 days max. It was a Flash clone. Even though it looks like an adult, it was a Flash clone and stuff. And that's why you can just also there's gonna be exposition that Flash. Okay, so she's going to a dangerous planet. There's a You know, there's a flash cloning technology here and whatnot, and even here with the hands, she's going to be hardly holding this gun in a very dignified or even assured manner. We're not going to be, so we're not introducing an action girl in the first pages of this story. She is not. She's not a, you won't be seeing waifu, you won't be seeing her clobbering guys twice her size. On the bright side, you haven't lost anyone to an abnormally deadly rabbit yet. Yeah. Run away! Yeah. Oh, gosh. That rabbit is dynamite! Huh, that might actually... Ditches I'll be digging for some gold. Yeah. Of course, who should be shooting at in the context of the story would be other people. I had a victory on Apex Legends earlier today. I got up for my daily grind. Team ended up first place, 14 kills. Was I drop leader that time? I can't remember. On Olympus. And we had this crazy thing going where, because we're in a new game mode right now, for the second anniversary. Let's see, I was Loba. Yeah. I was playing Loba with a Octane and what's the other one, a Bangalore? Now I can't even... No, the other one was a Bloodhound. So we had sensory, because like one of them they spotted for me and with a sensor, and I just ran around the corner and blasted them. And we dropped in, kind of off to the side. Took out one. Managed to get our gear, take out one squad right away. Our friggin', then we got into this spot and it was just chaos. And that's where our Octane got like 10 kills, or most of his 10 kills, and I got a couple in there, and then we managed to get through a choke. We were almost cut off at a choke point towards the end game, but we managed to get through that and fought through our caustic. And then we're like running through this one area. Our Bloodhound does the sonar thing. I noticed this one person alone around a corner. I managed to off that person. It was an Octane, and that was like the last person of that trio. So I was like, I got the squad wipe. And then a couple people came in behind us and we took them out. Thank you. Got a jet thesis ain't gonna rise up. Yeah, hey man, you gotta do yours. But that was a victory. We ended up taking this one, having to take a hill, and at the very end. But the little, I love, for some reason I just like, and you know what, she does have too many lines on that hand. One thing about characters, the more lines, the more black lines you draw them with on their face or on their hands, the older this character will look. So you're going to want to really judiciously, and her hands. See, most people are going to draw from their own hand body because like what's quick to reference. But it really screws things up in various ways. See, it's going to be a battle of whiteout now. See, I did make this thumb way too long. Friggin' hand, this is why they used to charge extra for hands in painting, in portrait painting, because they're a bitch. There we go. I literally have to just chop off a bunch of the thumb to make it the right length, the right daintiness to her. This is Every character with mittens. Yeah, that is one of the oldest cheats. This is why you saw, like, this is why you see in so many webcomics, characters are constantly crossing their arms or folding their arms, or they're... You never see their hands. You so rarely see a webcomic character's hands. Whatever excuse there can be, or they're just like a mitten with like lines drawn into it. Like there's like you'll draw a web character like, hey, you want to do it like that, and you'll just boom, 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 you know, and 3 fingers like that. Like they just do such simple hands because it's such a hard thing to draw. But yeah, I'm not going to have a girl who's just a badass from the start. And nobody has to tell her how amazing she is at everything. In fact, it's kind of fun because I'm like, okay, here's a girl who is trying something new. That's the whole point. Yes. Her character arc is she's kind of in this at bequest of her late uncle, who has apparently left something in her for her in his will, but only if she shows up for this tournament, this Love's Crown Battle Royale, as a contestant. "1778. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Letter of marque came from the king to the scummiest vessel I'd ever seen. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. Wish I was in Sherbrooke now." Woo! Men are fishermen who make for him the antelope's crew. God damn them all. I was told we fire no guns, shed no tears. Wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Sails in wreck. Skaggers and Jags, goddamn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. Fire no guns, shed no tears. Broken man on a Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. Pumping like a madman all the way. Broken man on a Halifax pier. I was in Sherbrooke now, and lucid state. Crack. The last to bear its privateers was in Sherbrooke now. Yesterday, goddamn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier. The last of barracks privateers. I'll be right back. Put my finger right in it. This is also why I wear all black when I'm drawing. Ridiculous that I gotta do this. Dismount and walk. My call. in the field. Night who's lain with the witch of the West Lowlands. I think this will be the last song. we're in a good spot. A little bit more. We just got one more panel to do, and then we're going to be on to page 3 of this project. And as before, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Borrow Scorpio on Patreon, Borrow Scorpio on DeviantArt. We can see my works, and I'll be Was my desktop audio not playing this entire time?